They built confidence into every panel back then. In the 1960s, Britain's motor industry carried real swagger: new factories, new engineering, a booming appetite among buyers hungry for something modern. Motor shows buzzed with promise. Engineers spoke of innovation, comfort, refinement, of saloons that would finally match the ambition of the age. Showroom queues formed, expectations climbed higher with every launch. But not every promise held. Some cars that arrived with fanfare quietly became cautionary tales, victims of rushed engineering, boardroom politics, or simple bad timing. 10 such cars still divide enthusiasts today. And the one that tops this list was supposed to be Britain's finest hour. It very nearly was. Number 10. Austin 3 Litre. Austin entered 1968 with genuine confidence. Their new flagship, the 3 Litre, promised to blend hydroelastic ride comfort with proper executive presence. Built on land crab underpinnings, it carried a straight-six engine and handsome proportions that hinted at something special. Buyers expected a worthy successor to aging rivals. Would this finally be Austin's answer to Rover and Triumph? Sadly, the timing couldn't have been worse. Fewer than 10,000 examples sold across its entire production run, a startling shortfall for a car with such lofty ambitions. Rivals had already claimed the compact executive market, leaving Austin's big saloon looking outdated on arrival. Reviewers noted awkward proportions and questionable value against sharper competition. Have you ever spotted one at a classic show? Few survive today. But this wasn't BMC's only luxury misstep of the decade. The next one involved a rather famous engine borrowed from an unlikely source. Number 9. Vanden Plas Princess for Litre R. Picture a British saloon powered by a Rolls-Royce engine, sold at a fraction of Rolls-Royce prices. That was the astonishing promise behind the Vanden Plas Princess for Litre R, launched in 1964. BMC and Rolls-Royce had discussed closer ties, and this car became the tangible result: a 3.9-litre straight-six under sumptuous coach-built trim. Enthusiasts were captivated by the idea alone. Would badge and bloodline be enough to sway buyers? Initial reception was warm, yet the excitement soon cooled. Production dwindled to a trickle in its final years, ultimately amounting to a commercial gamble that hadn't paid off. Buyers found its aging Austin Westminster styling hard to justify against newer rivals arriving from Rover and Jaguar. The car's identity, part luxury icon, part badge-engineered oddity, confused as many people as it charmed. Was the criticism fair? Many still argue about that. Meanwhile, another manufacturer was about to discover that ambition alone doesn't guarantee success either. Number 8. Hillman Imp. Few British cars generated as much genuine promise as the Hillman Imp, launched by Rootes in 1963. It aimed directly at the Mini's dominance with a rear-mounted, all-aluminium engine and genuinely clever engineering. Motoring journalists praised its handling. The Motor Magazine's road test that May was full of enthusiasm for how it drove. Everything pointed towards triumph. But manufacturing told a different story. The new Linwood factory struggled to build the Imp anywhere near its projected volumes, since the engine and gearbox proved painfully labor-intensive to produce. Marketing wavered too, shifting the Imp from a sophisticated new car into a budget economy option as sales slipped. Reliability concerns compounded the damage. Rootes' mounting losses eventually forced the company to accept investment from Chrysler. A car engineers genuinely admired ended up dragging its maker toward collapse. Would you have trusted one back then? The next car made an even costlier miscalculation. Number 7. Triumph 1300. Triumph unveiled the 1300 in 1965, hoping to rival BMC's phenomenally successful Austin 1100. Styled by Michelotti, it offered front-wheel drive, a 1,296cc engine, and genuine cabin refinement that impressed early reviewers. Buyers appreciated its interior quality immediately. So what went wrong? Triumph placed the engine above the gearbox in a longitudinal layout rather than BMC's transverse arrangement, creating a taller bonnet line that limited styling flexibility and added mechanical complexity. Production costs crept upward as a result. Against the 1100's simpler, cheaper engineering, Triumph's saloon struggled to justify its price premium. Sales remained respectable but never threatened BMC's dominance in this class. Could this rivalry have gone differently with sharper decisions? Many enthusiasts still debate it. Roots, meanwhile, was quietly repeating a similar story with its own executive contender. Number 6. Humber Scepter. The Humber Scepter arrived hoping to occupy the same aspirational ground as the Rover 2000 and Triumph 2000 compact, sporting luxury for the successful professional. Built from Roots' Arrow platform, it offered a well-appointed cabin and a reputation for comfort that early buyers genuinely enjoyed. Would badge prestige carry it through? Unfortunately, deeper problems loomed. Chrysler's growing control over Roots brought cost-cutting decisions that diluted the ranged identity, while the Scepter essentially became a dressed-up Hillman hunter rather than a genuinely distinct machine. Enthusiasts noticed the shared bones beneath the trim. Against sharper, more focused rivals with genuine engineering distinction, the Scepter's charm couldn't disguise its underlying compromise. Sales trickled rather than surged. Have you seen a surviving example recently? They're rare. But rarity wasn't always a mark of quality. The next car proved that emphatically. Number 5. Sunbeam Rapier Series 5. Roots revised the Sunbeam Rapier substantially for its Series 5, hoping a stronger, smoother engine would finally secure lasting success. The old 4-cylinder unit was enlarged to 1,725 cc with a new 5-bearing crankshaft, alongside a switch to negative earth and an alternator in place of the old dynamo. Enthusiasts anticipated a genuinely improved car. Would these refinements finally win over hesitant buyers? On paper, everything pointed towards success. Performance improved, top speed rising to 95 miles per hour with a sharper twin-pipe exhaust fitted. Yet the market had moved on. Despite being a genuinely accomplished motor car, the Series 5 simply failed to sell, with barely over 3,500 built before it was axed in 1967, making it the rarest Rapier of them all. Sharper, cheaper rivals had stolen its audience. Could timing alone explain such a capable car's failure? Many believe so. The next disappointment came from an entirely different direction. Number 4. Ford Corsair. Ford entered the 1960s determined to bridge the gap between Cortina and Zephyr, and the Corsair, launched in 1963, seemed the answer. Its distinctive pointed nose turned heads, and buyers appreciated the spacious cabin beneath striking styling. Ford's reputation for reliability suggested another sales triumph was guaranteed. Would Ford's winning formula hold once again? Initially it did, yet enthusiasm cooled as the decade wore on. The Corsair's styling, so distinctive at launch, aged awkwardly against cleaner rivals. Its 4-cylinder engine, later supplemented by a V4 option, drew criticism for refinement compared to 6s offered elsewhere. Buyers increasingly saw it as neither fish nor fowl, too large for Cortina buyers, too modest for Zephyr customers. Sales never matched Ford's own expectations. Could better positioning have saved it? Perhaps. Meanwhile, a much-loved Mark was fighting a battle of a different kind entirely. Number 3. Riley Elf. Riley's Elf, launched in 1961, took the brilliant Mini and dressed it in a longer boot and traditional grille, hoping to attract buyers craving badge prestige without abandoning Isagonas's clever packaging. Enthusiasts of the Mark were intrigued immediately. Surely Riley's heritage would justify the added expense? That question troubled buyers throughout its production run. Critics increasingly viewed the Elf as badge engineering at its most transparent, a standard Mini wearing borrowed clothes at a noticeably higher price. Traditionalists felt the Mark's proud identity had been diluted rather than celebrated. Sales remained a fraction of the standard Mini's astonishing numbers throughout the decade. Was this really what Riley customers wanted? Many doubted it. The Wolseley Hornet, its close relation, faced remarkably similar criticism. But the next disappointment involved a far grander ambition entirely. Number 2. Austin Morris 1800 Land Crab. BMC unveiled the Austin 1800 in 1964 with enormous confidence, promising advanced front-wheel drive engineering and cavernous interior space wrapped in bold, unconventional styling. Early reviews praised its ride and roominess generously. Surely this represented BMC's engineering at its finest? The reality proved more complicated. Its unusual proportions, quickly nicknamed the land crab by unimpressed onlookers, struggled to attract buyers drawn to more conventional saloon styling from Ford and Vauxhall. Handling and comfort earned praise, yet showroom appeal lagged badly behind expectations. Production quality varied inconsistently across the run, further denting confidence. Despite genuine engineering ambition, sales never approached the heights BMC had confidently projected internally. Could different styling have changed everything? Enthusiasts remain divided even now. But nothing on this list disappointed quite so painfully as what comes next. Number 1. Jaguar Mark X. Jaguar entered the decade with the Mark X, unveiled in 1961, promising the most advanced, most spacious saloon the company had ever built. Independent rear suspension, a straight six engine, an imposing American-influenced styling suggested Jaguar's finest hour had arrived. William Lyons projected sales of 15,000 units a year, with two-thirds destined for America. Would this finally conquer the lucrative US luxury market Jaguar craved? Sadly, the American clients Lyons expected simply never showed up in the numbers hoped for. Its imposing width proved troublesome on narrower British roads too, while styling divided opinion sharply on both sides of the Atlantic. Despite genuine press acclaim, the Mark X never achieved its sales targets throughout its production run. Could better proportions have changed its fortunes entirely? Many believe so passionately today. It remains one of British motoring's most bittersweet near misses. Brilliant engineering, wrapped in ambition the market never quite embraced. These 10 cars remind us that ambition alone was never enough. Clever engineering, badge prestige, even genuine innovation could still stumble against timing, styling, or simple manufacturing reality. Britain's motor industry dreamed boldly throughout the 1960s, and though not every dream reached the showroom triumphant, each attempt shaped the cars that followed. Perhaps that's the real story here. Failure taught the industry lessons success never could. Which of these would you have driven, given the chance? Let us know your thoughts below, and if you enjoyed this journey through Britain's motoring past, please subscribe, because Britain Rewind has plenty more forgotten stories still to tell.